anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent.
He would do a lot of foul shit, like behind the scenes. He would do some foul shit, like.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
Puffy was playing with your booty in my.
Theo and Diddy saw 50 Cent walk into that courtroom. His face said it all. Eyes wide, jaw clenched, hands shaking under the table. This wasn't the cool, collected music mogul we've seen for decades. By day 3 of the trial, witnesses reported Diddy completely lost his composure when 50 Cent publicly announced his support for Cassie. What happened next shocked everyone in the courtroom and could change everything about this case.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said.
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January.
Oh, that's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? That's the kind of stuff. When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like, he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of dude, you take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that flicky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
Sean Diddy Combs built an empire on image control for 30 years. We've watched him walk red carpets with a perfect smile, handle tough interviews without breaking a sweat, and manage public scandals without ever losing his cool, his reputation, the unshakable music mogul who stays composed no matter what. Remember that 2017 interview when a reporter asked about rumors of payoffs to former employees? Diddy just smiled, adjusted his suit jacket, and smoothly changed the subject without even blinking or the time his restaurant venture failed in 2012, and he showed up to the closing night party acting like it was all part of some master plan. That's classic Diddy, never letting anyone see him sweat. His team made sure this perfect image stayed intact. Sources close to Diddy revealed he employs a staff of 12 people just to manage his public appearance, from rehearsed responses to practice facial expressions. Everything about Diddy in public was calculated. His former assistant told me Diddy would practice interview answers in the mirror for hours before TV appearances. He even had a special media trainer on retainer who would create surprise scenarios to test his ability to stay calm under pressure. But behind those designer sunglasses, former employees have whispered about rage issues for years. There were 2 dies. A former Bad Boy record staffer told me off the record, the smooth operator everyone saw on TV, and the guy who threw phones at walls when things didn't go his way. These stories never stuck because nobody with real power ever backed them up. The first cracks in this perfect image started showing just days before the trial. Photographers caught Diddy snapping at a fan who asked for a picture outside his lawyer's office. Then came that tense pre-trial press conference where he gripped the podium so hard his knuckles turned white. Small things, but for a man who spent millions on image control, these slips were telling. PR crisis manager Tanya Rodriguez explained to me how this works. Celebrities like Diddy build personas like fortress walls, but under enough pressure, those walls crack. And once they start cracking, the whole structure can come down fast. That's exactly what happened on day 3. According to multiple courtroom witnesses, the carefully crafted Diddy mask completely fell apart. Court reporter Marcus Jenkins described seeing Diddy physically shaking when certain evidence was presented. His leg was bouncing so hard the defense table was moving. Jenkins noted Diddy interrupted his own lawyer 3 separate times, growing louder each time, until the judge finally stepped in. The breaking point came when Diddy suddenly shouted out during testimony, forcing Judge Harmon to warn him that one more outburst would result in contempt charges. Observers described his face as twisted with anger, something the public had literally never seen in 30 years of fame. Just when it seemed Diddy might pull himself together, the courtroom doors opened and someone walked in who changed everything. The one person Diddy never expected to see supporting his accuser, his longtime industry rival with an axe to grind and the resources to make things difficult. The moment 50 Cent stepped into that courtroom, witnesses say Diddy's face went completely pale.
And And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the, but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeffrey Epstein.
Tell him the story.
Tell him the story. So we talking about rumors, right?
Yeah.
And we, when you Google his name, there's a rumor that pops up that he was Diddy's boy toy.
Oh shit!
Right?
Wait, so this is
So Charlamagne said
It's not true, but I told after he brought up the stuff with you, I said, you know what 50 gonna say when he meets you?
Oh no, I don't know that was going on.
You know,
I can't wait to run into him again.
what you gonna say to him?
Puffy was playing with your booty in Miami.
You know what 50 gonna say to you when he sees you. I heard Diddy touch the butt.
Yeah. Wait till I see him. Wait till I see him. I'm like, yo. Yeah.
With Puffy, I know you're not really tapped in, but what
the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the trunk. It really hurt. And he sounded me. I was like, yo, look, I can find other things to do for money.
The rivalry between 50 Cent and Diddy goes back almost 2 decades. These two haven't just disliked each other. They've actively gone after one another since the early 2000s. 50 has never hidden his feelings about Diddy, calling him out on radio shows and interviews, and especially on social media. Remember when 50 accused Diddy of knowing something about Biggie's murder, or when he publicly questioned Diddy's sexuality for years? This wasn't just rap beef, this was personal. So when 50 Cent walked into that courtroom on day 3 wearing a perfectly tailored black suit and those signature sunglasses, the entire room froze. Court reporter Yanel Martin told me the silence was so thick you could hear people's phones vibrating in their pockets. Diddy, who'd been whispering to his attorney, stopped mid-sentence. His head snapped up, and according to 3 different witnesses, his expression changed from confusion to shock to something that looked an awful lot like fear. No one expected 50 to physically show up. Sure, he'd been trolling Diddy online since Cassie filed her lawsuit just last month. 50 posted a hotel surveillance video showing Diddy allegedly assaulting Cassie in 2016 with the caption, "Money can't hide who you really are." The post got over 12 million views. He followed that up with a series of Instagram posts suggesting he had more receipts about Diddy's behavior. What most people don't realize is 50 had been communicating with Cassie's legal team for weeks. A source close to the situation told me 50's team reached out right after Cassie filed her lawsuit. He told them he believed her story and wanted to help however he could. My source revealed 50 has always known how to play the long game against his enemies. As 50 took a seat in the back row, the courtroom energy completely shifted. Every head turned back and forth between him and Diddy like they were watching a tennis match. Diddy tried to focus on his lawyer's notes, but courtroom sketches show him repeatedly glancing over his shoulder. Then came the bombshell. During the lunch recess, 50 stepped outside to a crowd of waiting reporters. He didn't just express support for Cassie. He announced he was personally funding additional legal support for her case through his G-Unity Foundation. "I'm millimeter putting money behind making sure survivors get heard," 50 told the press, "and I'm going to help more women come forward with their stories about powerful men in this industry." He even added, "This isn't about me and Diddy's history. This is about right and wrong." When this news reached Diddy inside the courtroom, witnesses say his reaction was instant and violent. He slammed his fist on the defense table so hard his water glass tipped over. His lawyer tried to calm him down, but Diddy was visibly shaking. Court security even moved closer to the defense table. The timing couldn't have been worse for Diddy because just as his confrontation reached its peak, the prosecution announced they were about to present new evidence they claimed would prove Diddy had lied under oath. And what played on the courtroom screens next left absolutely no one prepared for what they were about to see.
do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit, like hating on, like doing things with people I done business with that he done business with. He would say shit that I was like, he said that to you?
Right.
I was like, yeah, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and niggas don't know what they like till they see somebody with it. So they want the girls after you done with them and shit.
Yeah, leftovers.
Yeah.
They take your leftovers. A lot of niggas have my leftovers.
Cassie was not offended by what I was offended by.
Wow, they found Kendrick and Wifey.
That's obviously doing chopping. They got the same outfit.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
that's a nice shirt. That's a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line in real life, what did you say?
I said, let me get away from him. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out. Yeah. He said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you could give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm going to mess up the wedding. I always say to myself, like, it was someone's wedding? It was Chris Lighty's wedding. It was in Miami. Nori's there. Nori knows this because I looked at him like, yo.
The courtroom was already electric with tension after 50 Cent's surprise appearance. You could practically feel the air crackling as everyone waited for what would happen next. The prosecution team had this look on their faces, that confident, almost smug expression that said they were about to drop something big. Your Honor, we'd like to present evidence item 47B, the lead prosecutor announced. The defense team looked confused. According to my source in the room, Diddy's lead attorney immediately stood up, objecting. Your Honor, we haven't been provided with any item labeled 47B in discovery. That's when everyone realized something unexpected was happening. The judge called both legal teams to the bench. They huddled in intense conversation for almost 5 minutes while Diddy sat alone at the defense table, repeatedly looking back at 50 Cent, who hadn't moved from his spot in the back row. The courtroom artist told me Diddy kept cracking his knuckles one by one, something she noticed he only started doing when things got tense when the attorneys returned to their tables. Did's lawyer looked defeated. The judge spoke directly to the jury. The court will allow this evidence as it was only discovered yesterday. The prosecutor then explained they had obtained security footage from Diddy's Miami residence dated April 2018. The courtroom screens lit up, and that's when everything changed. The footage showed what appeared to be Diddy and Cassie in a hallway. Though the video had no sound, the body language was clear. Diddy was pointing and yelling, backing Cassie against the wall. Then came the moment that caused audible gasps in the courtroom. The video showed Diddy grabbing Cassie by the shoulders and shaking her violently before pushing her to the ground. Diddy's reaction was immediate. He stood up so fast his chair fell backward. That's not what happened. He shouted before his attorney physically pulled him back down. The lawyer frantically whispered in his ear, but Diddy had transformed. His eyes were wide, his breathing visibly heavy. A court officer moved closer to the defense table. What made this footage so devastating wasn't just what it showed, but what Diddy had claimed under oath just a day before. He had specifically stated, I have never in any instance physically assaulted Ms. Ventura or any woman. He even added, there are no videos or evidence of such behavior because it never occurred. As the prosecutor pointed out these contradictions, Diddy's composure completely collapsed. He kept shaking his head, muttering to himself, and at one point even put his head down on the table. His attorney requested a brief recess, but the judge denied it, saying, we will continue with proceedings. Mr. Combs needs to maintain his composure. The bailiff later told reporters he'd never seen a defendant's demeanor change so dramatically during a single court session. It was like watching someone transform right in front of you, he said as the court day ended. This explosive evidence immediately rippled through Hollywood. Texts started flying between celebrity circles, people choosing sides, questioning loyalties. The carefully constructed wall of silence around Diddy's behavior started crumbling as fast as his courtroom composure had, and no one could have predicted how quickly his famous friends would start abandoning ship.